And now it's time for Mike's Meltdown. There's that picture again. Everybody loves it. I don't love it, but never mind. I got no say. Listen, my meltdown was going to be about Keir Starmer and his inability to actually see the wood for the trees, his inability to actually seem to understand anything about the people of this country, his inability to realise that the people of this country want him out, his inability to realise that he's finished as a politician and that nobody really wants to hear from him anymore. You know, he's in the papers again this morning talking about his bleeding brother, you know, his brother who had learning difficulties, his brother who apparently died in poverty, his brother who apparently he loved very much, but he never mentioned until he died, really. And he only mentioned him when he died because his approval rating was in the toilet. And he thought he might get some sympathy because people would feel sorry for him on account of the fact that his brother died. He said he died in poverty. Well, why did he die in poverty, Sir Keir Starmer? The man with the enormous pension, the man with the multi-million-pound home, the man with the six-figure salary. How is he dying in poverty if he's got a very wealthy brother like you? Well, that was going to be the main force of my argument. But then I did an interview on the show this morning with Misley Mandarin, the First Minister of the Chagos Islands, and it made my blood absolutely boil. Because here's a guy, a decent man, a man whose father was born in the Chagos Islands, you know, an archipelago off the coast of Africa, a place where you can fish for red snapper, a place where they have crabs, where they have lobsters, where they have sunshine, where they have all the things that could make the Chagos Islands a holiday paradise, right? But it happens to be quite close to another island called Diego Garcia, which happens to be an American military installation down there in the Indian Ocean, a place that they've used in the past as a jumping off point for bombing the Middle East, for bombing Afghanistan, for taking the war to the scumbags around the world who would like to not only take away the freedoms of the people in their own country, but who would also like to take away our freedoms and who would like to blow us up, right? So a very, very important part of the world, not just for the UK, but also for the Americans. But for Misley Mandarin, it's more than that. It's his homeland. It's where his father was born. It's where his family come from. It's where all of his relatives used to live until they were evicted from the Chagos Islands by another Labour government back in the 60s and 70s, right? He has decided to take a stand because he doesn't think that Starmer should be allowed to sell off the Chagos Islands, and not just sell them off, but sell them off at a price. Because incredibly, we are actually going to pay Mauritius to take the islands off us so that they can have them, not just for free, but for a profit. They made so much money out of the deal, they were able to cancel all of the income tax that people in Mauritius were paying to the government, right? So when Starmer said he was going to lower taxes, he was right. But not for us, for the people of Mauritius, the stupid Wally, right? But the reason I got so worked up and annoyed is because this government in this country is trying to persecute and prosecute Misley Mandarin because he wants to go home. They've served him with a deportation notice. A British man with a British passport going to a British country and a British protectorate where he comes from. They've said, we're going to arrest you and put you in prison for 3 years. Starmer is a bloke who cannot even imprison people coming into this country illegally from Afghanistan, from Eritrea, from Sudan, from Ethiopia, from Somalia. The man is a complete and utter disgrace. He's got human rights lawyer friends who don't think we should even have passports. Lord Hermer, his Attorney General, thinks we should give the Chagos Islands away, right? This other guy, Felipe Sands, the man who's made £8.4 million out of the Mauritian government for representing them, planted a flag of Mauritius into the ground on a beach in the Chagos Islands. He doesn't think we should have a flag in this country. He doesn't think we should have passports. But have a look at this interview and tell me that this is not one of the bravest people on earth. Misley Mandarin, First Minister of the Chagos Islands. Okay, good. And let me ask you about Keir Starmer's kind of motivation here. Do you think he's being a bit racist in trying to stop you from going back to your homeland?
And I will completely agree with this, because if you see Falkland Islanders, um, you see the British government go and help them, and uh, yeah, it's a sense of discrimination and racism in there, because we are black. But if we are black, but we are British, we all a British passport as well.
Right.
There's no difference if somebody white, black, or Asian. If they are British, we are British. They have to be treated like equally, like everybody else. British.
Yes. And in terms of your family, when would you be able to, if you could, move them out to where you are? I guess you'd have to, build houses. You'd have to kind of build communities again.
Our main issue is not about having the houses built. We here, we want this treaty to not to be scraped, to be chucked out. There's no point to starting plans to build houses, bring my family there, and the treaty carry on, and we live under Mauritian government. We don't want that. That's the main issue. The main issue, Keir Starmer have to stop that treaty soon as possible. And then, instead of striking a deal with the Mauritian, the British government can strike a deal with me as First Minister of the Chagos Islands, and then that's going to be in the interest of the US, of the UK, and for the taxpayers as well. You don't need to spend £30 billion over a century for that.
Yeah. No, I know, it's completely insane. It makes no sense at all. But the people who want to do it, all of Starmer's friends who are like human rights lawyers, they don't think that anybody should have the right to live in a country. They don't think you should have a passport. They don't think British people should have a passport. They think there should be no borders. They think we should all live in one big world. But that doesn't work, does it?
It doesn't work at all. And the thing is, it seems like there's no borders in Calais, where small illegal migrant can come in anytime and having a hotel and having food and having everything. When a British...
Well, we were doing really well there, but I think we may have lost Misley again. Have we? Possibly. Misley Mandarin, one of the British Chagossians who's journeyed to the Chagos Islands, right, and is living in a tent, eating out of cans, eating out of whatever fish they can catch. And he says, quite rightly, and I agree with him, that Keir Starmer's being racist here. Keir Starmer will absolutely hate being called a racist because he thinks that, that is the worst thing you can call somebody. Misley, have we got you back? We have got you back. Sorry, we just lost you there for a second.
Yeah, I was saying, if you see people coming from Calais to Dover on a small boat and having accommodation, having food, having human aid, when a member of British Parliament, a leader of a surgeon, is the most popular political party like Nigel Farage, come and try to bring some water for us, what the government did is stop him, which is appalling.
Yeah. It really is double standards, isn't it? Because, you just want to live a peaceful life in the land of your ancestors, the land of your, not necessarily your birth, but the land of where you belong. And I find it extraordinary.
My father was born here. He's there in front of me. Yeah. He's Queensland too. And you can't deport the same man twice.
Right. And I mean, technically speaking, presumably the government is going to call you a criminal, right?
So basically what been happening when we came here, so imagine this, Graham, you're in your house, they remove you from your house. When you try to get back in your house, they say to you, you're illegal now.
Yeah.
So you give your house to somebody, never owned your house before, the rightful owner. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, it's shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
Is it possible to speak to your dad, or is he there?
No, my dad went fishing now.
Oh, he's gone fishing. Good for him. Good for him. What sort of fish do you catch there?
So we red snapper,
nice.
The mullet. Yeah, it's a range of fish, and we got lobsters as well.
Right.
And we got crabs. We got all a range of seafood like you imagine in a abundant tropical sea.
Yes. I like the sound of it. I'd quite like to move there myself. You know, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah, anytime. If Keir Starmer don't stop you to come here to
Yes.
visit land, British land.
Right. Is there a local language in Chagos as well, or is it English?
Yes. So basically, the Chagos Island is we call a uh, Creole.
Oh
Is
yeah.
a broken French. That's why we
Okay.
talk here.
Okay. All right. Cool. Listen, Misley, it's been great to speak to you. We wish you all the best, and we wish you all the luck, and we will do whatever we can here to fight on your behalf because we believe in
Thank you,
your
sir.
cause, and we believe that. And a lot of people are offering actually to help. I've got electricians offering to come and help you
Yep.
build a community, build a town. You know, bricklayers. You know, people that work in England. They love you, and they want
Really
you to win
appreciate it.
this,
Thank
right?
you.
So
Thank
anything
you.
that we
Really
can
appreciate it.
do, anything that we can do, please let us know. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Not at all. Misley, thank you very much indeed. So how can you watch that and not feel a certain sense of pride in what Misley Mandarin is asking for? How can you watch that and think, do you know what I'm going to do about that? I'm going to lock the guy up. I'm going to put him in jail because he wants to live with his father in a place of paradise where there are birds, where there are fish, where there's sunshine, where there are beautiful things. He's not asking for money. He's not asking for compensation. He's simply asking for a place to live where his ancestors came from, where they speak Creole, where they know the value of everything. In this country, Keir Starmer doesn't know the value of anything. And he doesn't even understand the cost either. And that's why, for me, there is only one hero in this story, and it's not the Prime Minister.